Hey, girl. Hello, everyone. Is anybody watching?
Well, let's see. I'm loading her up. Let's see. Oh, I almost got the replay. There will be people soon enough, I'm sure of
That's
it.
hilarious. All right. While we wait for people to show up.
Oh, there are people now.
There
So,
are?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why?
If you're watching out there, let us know who you are, where you are at.
And what you're wearing.
Lillian, hello. Catherine Healy, hello. We're amongst friends. Good to see you all here.
Tell us what you're wearing.
Janine Reed Robinson, hello. Susan Riley.
Hi, Susan.
Good to see you all. So we are not alone.
We are not alone. Well, everyone, all three of you, so the Library Love Fest team, what we were going to have Sophie Hannah on today. There was a switch in the plans. So she's going to be on next Thursday. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, the 30th.
The 30th. It might be at 4 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock. We'll let you know. So much shifting around. It's called Launch. So this week, next week, there's Launch, where the editors launch, what is it, summer 2021? Is that what we just did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're learning all about some really, really cool books that are coming out this time next year. So you know, by the time the books come out, we feel like, oh, this must be the paperback edition of that hardcover. But no, we start working on them a year in advance. So anyway, we hear from all the imprints because the library marketing department markets all of the books from all of the imprints. So it's a lot to squish into our little noggins. But we wanted to take this time to just talk to you guys about some books and hear what you're reading. And I don't know, talk about whatever, what are we watching? Let's just like talk to each other. We'll talk to you, you talk to us. You go first. Okay, we'll go first. Chris Laney, what are you reading? Or what do we want to talk about? I know what we should do. I think we should first talk while we have all of the hundreds of people here listening to us. I think we should tell them about our latest guests on Door to Door. Because honestly, this was so cool. This was a wonderful episode. You know, we do Tuesdays and Thursdays for now, Door to Door. And we either talk about books like we're going to do today, or we have authors on. And so this past Tuesday, we had Spike Carlson, who's written a book called A Walk Around the Block, and that's coming out in October. It's real popular science stuff. And Thomas Hines, who wrote a book that came out in May called Wild City. And it's all about the animals and nature that sort of shaped New York City, all the boroughs, and what it looked like then, what it looks like now. And it's fascinating stuff. So both of these books were really cool. The authors were really cool. They have fabulous interior art and just so many interesting things to learn. And so we had them on. So if you have a chance, you should go back and listen to these interviews because they were on the one episode together and they were super great, super generous with each other too. You know, I thought those guys were really sweet with each other, talking about each other's books.
They meshed so well. I did just post a link to it in the comments for all of you joining us. And shout out to Lainey for leading that conversation with panache and verb and all other kinds.
That is a $12.50 word.
You've been really on the word.
There's some line, I think it's in, oh shoot, what's his name? Gary, he's not our author, but there's a line in his most famous book. Gary, he does a lot of blurbs, and I'm failing so hard right now.
Because he's ours.
Yeah, Gary Steingart's not ours.
No.
That is who I'm speaking about, and he has a sentence in one of his more famous books, and some guy's going off on.
He said panache.
He said panache and verb in the same sentence.
Really?
Nice way to describe something. So I'm going to store that in the old memory bank.
Store it away.
Yeah, but great interview. Sorry, I digress.
No. Digress away.
But,
So we have Wild City. We have a picture of the book.
So cool, you guys. It's so cool.
We had to walk around the block. That one, my favorite thing is to learn something new, which these guys know. And these are the perfect books for that. I feel like Wild City is, about New York City animals and equally the people who cohabitate with the animals, but it's for anyone walking around and learning more about animals and how we do interact with them. And then Walk Around the Block is for anyone anywhere, just to learn about, there's a lot of animals in this one too as well. So.
And a Walk Around the Block got a shout out yesterday, a shout out at Shout and Share. And I think Donna Seaman also, with Book List, also called it out. I forget if it was her book or someone else, and they were just, doubling up on that. But for popular science fans, like, great entry point, just refreshing, eye-opening look.
Super,
Wow.
super nice. So yeah, check out all that stuff, you guys, and you will love them. Also, cocktails. Wait a minute. Should we talk about the thing in my hair that's keeping my hair back?
Donna Wilder says that red flower in your hair is giving me life.
You cray, girl. Thank you, Donna. It's called Haven't Had a Haircut in 5 months. But it's Pat's. It's my wife's. And she's like, why don't you put that in your hair? All right. Also, cocktails. I am having a beverage. It's limonada. It's San Pellegrino limonada and Tanqueray 10. Not Tanqueray, Tanqueray 10. Put those together with some ice and a wedge of lime. Lippity doodah.
I'm having my signature. I don't know if I can show the symbol without getting sued, but it's a recycle. I think they have bigger fish to fry. A McDonald's cup that we use because they're giant and flexible and hold a lot of water, and hopefully it's not breaking down and entering my bloodstream at this point because we do reuse them extensively, but that's what I'm about. And also, just so it's weird that we're here now 3 months after starting Door to Door, and a lot of people are asking and praising Monogamy by Sue Miller, which you started this whole thing with, Virginia, 3 long months ago. First episode of Door to Door was about monogamy.
Yes.
I believe, looking through my email, I feel like it just got a starred review, and I want to, was that Book List? I think it was.
I'm so happy to see that. Maybe Chris, you could stick, and let's just like throw everything up here. Let's throw everything into the chat room. Maybe you could find that that link. It's like a 5-minute. I just turned on my laptop and tried to figure out how to use Facebook Live by myself. Hilarious.
And you did with panache and verve.
Thank you. But that was in March, and that was just the beginning of this. And I'll be honest with you, I was so close to tears talking about that book because I was so completely freaked out by the world, and felt like, you know what, we have to just talk about books, because if we talk about anything else, we'll lose our minds. And so that's what's happening there. But it's such a beautiful book. It's so good. It's just, you guys all know about it. It's Sue Miller. It's the 30-year marriage of these two people, and the husband dies suddenly, and the wife is grieving, and then in that grieving process, she discovers that he was having an affair behind her back. So, and that's what it's about. Oh, but it's so good. And it's just, and the characters are wonderful. And we had Sue Miller on Door to Door. And Sue Miller's, she was with Harper for her first book, and then a bunch of other books. And then she left Harper now. She's back at Harper with this one. But we've repackaged all of our backlist with Sue Miller, and they're absolutely beautiful. So if you've never read Sue Miller, or you want a refreshed, beautiful paperback, we got them, or we will have them. And Monogamy is just fully embraced. It's just wonderful. It's a wonderful, beautiful book.
It's an audio e-galley, so you can listen to it.
Talk about that, Lainey.
Yeah, we premiered on our July 9th buzz that we're going to do audio e-galleys. Yeah, I've heard of it. There's 8 audio e-galleys, so, put them up. You can listen to them early, full thing, hear all about it. Loving Goodnight Beautiful. I'm listening to it. Amazing. And Monogamy is one of them. And you can go on Edelweiss or NetGalley and request and get one and listen to it. And we're really excited. This is brand new for us. So let us know if you've done that in the comments and if you've enjoyed listening to them.
Did we mention Sue Miller? I'm sorry, I was looking for the book so I can share the link. Did we mention she's the narrator? Did you say that already?
Mm-mm.
She narrates the audiobook. Sue Miller is an audiobook narrator. And so I think that's very cool because it makes, obviously with nonfiction authors will often do that, but I don't think that happens very often for novelists. So the fact that she's her own narrator is pretty impressive. And yeah, I just wanted to read a few lines from this book list review because it's fantastic. It's a starred review. Let's see. Miller takes on and renews familiar themes of trust and betrayal between husbands and wives, parents and children, and does so with her signature crystalline focus and boundless empathy. Bestselling Miller's well-promoted latest will be on many to-be-read lists. So, and it goes on sale in September. So, Library Reads votes August 1st. Make sure to get those in, everyone watching. And we do have a good amount of people watching, so I'm really
That's
thrilled.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I do want to say Catherine Healy said reading Little Deadly Secrets by Pamela Crane. Did you guys see that last blog post that we had? If not, I'll link to it because it blew us all away. We loved I said it was spunky. I really liked it.
Yeah, that was perfect. Lainey sends the post to me. She goes, read this. It's spunky. And it is. And she's super funny. You've got to read this. It's not that long. It's a post that she did for Library Love Fest. And it's just, I just want to meet her and just, I don't know, I can't wait to dive into all of her stuff. Okay, let's see. Who else? Let's see. Miller narrates. Yes. Hi, Barbara Jenko from Brooklyn, and thank you so much for coming on to our episode the other day. That was super fun. And Shannon Speece, you were there too. You guys are so great and so wonderful, and we love that you take the time. We know you're busy to hear us talk about books. God, I wish we could just talk about all the summer books, but we're probably not allowed to yet because things move and stuff. But we got a good summer list. Let's talk about anything we want to. Oh, Lainey, you want to talk about next Tuesday, the 28th of July, and what's happening on Door to Door?
Yes. And then a continuation to that Friday. We have like a week of Meg Cabot. We're so excited. Well, I might be projecting a little bit. I love Meg Cabot, but we're all very excited to have her on Tuesday. She'll be on Door to Door. We'll talk all about her new book, A Library Reads Pick, No Offense, about a librarian. And we will talk all about that. And we will have her on our Instagram takeover on Friday. So she's going to show us a writing space and show us some stuff about the book. So dream come true. So excited.
Yeah. Okay, what books do we want to make sure that people know about?
Well, since we just released the... Oh, go ahead, Lainey, answer.
Should you tell them about your podcast episode that just came?
Great minds. Yeah, for sure. So a book that we all three love, what do we call it? The intersection of all of our reading love is Leave the World Behind by Rumaan Alam, which I think probably many of you, that's my dog barking in the background, apologies. She's supposed to be heard, but what was I talking about? Rumaan Alam. Yeah. There's so much happening right now. One second. I'm going to tell my dog I love her.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Sissy. Aw, I think I don't know what's going on, but yeah, Rumaan Alam, we did an interview with him. All three of us loved that book. I think, again, many of you know about it because the buzz in Libraryland is pretty crazy right now. I feel like everyone's feeling it. Like this is an event book. This is something that's going to be talked about extensively. It's just brilliant. It's coming in October. It's kind of, I don't want to say dystopian, it's kind of a mystery thriller about a family who's vacationing on Long Island. and they get a knock on the door one night, and the homeowners have come back and they say there's a blackout in New York and no one knows what's happening. The actual homeowners are black, and the white couple with their family is renting the house. So there's this racial tension. You know, Ramon Alam does social critiques. He's so astute and brilliant. So he plays that out, but then there's this looming larger threat involved, and it's all with a very specific Ramon prose, which I just love. I don't know if verbose is the right word. I feel like that has a negative connotation, but I just love his voice. I love his voice, and you'll enjoy it to the very, very end. So
all right, he's being shy. Listen up. This interview that Chris did with him is so good. Yeah, we all are like fangirling and fanboying, and then we just let him and not let Chris and Ramon talk, and it is so good. And you guys don't give anything away. It's a very tricky book to talk about because you don't. It's hard to talk to an author about a book that has this tension, and you don't want to reveal too much, because that's the fun of reading it. But it's a really cool interview because then it's just like, oh my God, I want to read it again after listening to them talk about it. So check it out. God, he's so smart. And Chris, you did a great job. You really did.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It was good to have you both there. I felt at ease. So good having the team there. So
the first time Ramon had talked about the book, I feel like that's kind of a running theme. I feel sometimes we have people on and they're like, oh, I've never talked about the book yet, but
Right.
Librarians are a perfect audience to start talking about the book. And I think that, I'm surprised he hasn't ever talked about the book in person, because that was, like you said, so eloquent and well stated. But I think that's also a cool aspect of it, where he could kind of really step back and think about the book in a different way and present it to us.
yeah.
Another book so we could go forward, because you guys know everything that's coming out in the fall. Well, early fall anyway. But should we talk about our other intersection of love?
Ooh.
Willie. Let's do it.
Willie B. All right. So, and I think that's an April publication.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll,
we get galleys out. All right, you go, Chris.
I'm going to get the cover up, so you go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Lainey. All right. So we have a new Willie Vlautin novel. So I was so delighted. The first novel I'd read by him came out 2018, I think it was. Don't Skip Out on Me. Came out his first time publishing Willie Vlautin in hardcover. That book kept me up late into the night. It just so impactful, just unforgettable. Like lose sleep over it, stays in your heart forever type of book. And I think like many people who hadn't read Willie before, if they started there, he has this rich backlist and every book is in line. Like I just love every single one of them. But he has a new book coming in April 6th. That's 5 days after my birthday. Just to let you know. So called The Night Always Comes. And yeah, it's about a young woman living in Portland, and Willie's kind of based a little bit outside of Portland, who is trying to save money to buy a house in a rapidly gentrifying Portland. And basically life is stacked against her. She tries to do this, but she's still trying. And this book takes place over the course of, I think, 2 days, where she's desperately trying to collect money to put down a deposit on this house. She's living with her mom, and she has a brother who has some issues himself, and she's just racing the clock, trying to do what's best for her and her family. And it's brilliant. It's just brilliant. And like, again, it's just the characters. He's so kind but not sentimental with his characters. They just are so real. And I love his prose. It's very sparse, but it just every sentence rips straight to the point, and I love it. So yeah, and I'm so excited to hear what you all think. Again, it is available now to
Do
read.
it.
So we can post the link.
Yeah.
And
Guys,
Lillian, I remember sharing this with Lillian Dabney. I remember sharing Don't Skip Out on Me with you, Lillian. You responded beautifully, expected. And I remember there were so many librarians that I shared this with, and again, the response was really special. So more to come. I can't wait.
And we got Lainey on the Willie van.
I'm on the bandwagon now.
Yeah.
I had never read him before, and I had heard such great things. And that great interview, which is also a podcast episode, I think maybe our first or second podcast episode, where we use the audio from your Facebook Live, Chris.
Mhm.
And so I had seen that, and I was like, I don't know who this dude is, but I want to know more about him. And blown away. It was, I didn't want to put the book down. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'd be remiss not to mention that Willie is a musician, so that's always played a big part in, like, he did a soundtrack for Don't Skip Out on Me. I don't know if there's going to be one for this, but he's the longtime frontman for, well, plays guitar for the DeLines and
Fontaine.
Sorry?
Fontaine.
Yeah, Richmond Fontaine, his previous band, did the soundtrack. They came together for the soundtrack for Don't Skip Out on Me. And he's great. He is just very talented. He played guitar and sang the song Don't Skip Out on Me during our podcast / video interview, which was just like,
Yeah,
I'm sitting
Lillian
there
said
keeping
your
it
interview
fairly
was
together.
really great.
Thanks, Lillian.
The interview was fabulous, really. So good. That's there too. And then he plays the guitar, and Chris talks to him. And he's just like, you could read Motel Life. You could read any of his books, and you will just go, whoa. I mean, they're
Mhm.
not. They are just a slice of life, and it's usually the downtrodden and how they're trying to get ahead. And in this book, I think he really captures a woman's persona, her voice, her feelings. You know what I mean? I think he gets that really well. He's just a really lovely man and a really talented writer. So now that the three of us are, we've been reading Willie a long time now, but now it's like, I don't know. We want you to read him and love him. Help us. Help us. What else? I don't know. Well, you heard we're doing Charles Blow's book. That's a cool thing. We're going to do that in February. It's called The Devil You Know. And that's a huge, huge deal for us. There's so many cool books coming out. All right. What else? What else can we talk about? And what are you reading? And what are you watching on television? All right. Let's all talk about what we're watching for 2 seconds. We'll go back to books. Everybody
What
has.
are we watching?
Chris, I feel like maybe you might have seen The Order. I don't know.
Oh my
Oh, for
God.
God's sake.
Nice lead, Lainey. Yeah, so I'm obsessed with The Order. It's on Netflix. It's a cheesy mess of a show. I hope they're not watching, but I love it. You can really enjoy just the insanity. It's about a first season young man and his grandfather are plotting this revenge scheme against this secret order that's part of this elite college, and this secret order called what is it? It's something Blue Rose, Lainey.
Order of the Blue Rose.
The secret order of the Blue Rose. They practice magic and count amongst their graduates, Oprah and Michelle Obama. They use their names in the show. I don't know how they got away with that, but they dropped that. But they're also responsible for the death of this young man's mother. So he's infiltrating this secret society, and he's going to destroy them from the inside out. But there's also a gang of werewolves on campus who also are sworn enemies against the order.
I hate when
And
that happens.
yeah, and so there's some teamwork involved, there's some romance. It's
And the second season is completely different from the first season. It's just like, I say, if you have a Buffy the Vampire Slayer hole in your heart, this will fill it.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's so perfect.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, so I'm sure because it's a parody, they can say Michelle Obama, but I forgot
it's a
about that.
parody.
Every time you say that, it makes me laugh. But yeah, they have this secret society, and then everything crazy happens, and monsters come out of the woodwork, and you're just, every episode you're like, did we change the plot a little? But it's so great.
Mhm. Yeah, they managed to fit like a season-long arc in each episode, so it just completely pivots every single episode, and you just have to like hang on for dear life. And
But it's funny.
it
I
is
laugh
funny.
every episode. Yeah.
It's a romp. It's a romp for sure. So that's what I'm loving. Thanks for leading with that, Lainey. What are y'all watching?
Yeah, what's everybody watching? Who's writing in?
Casey Davis says Castle Rock, which I've been intrigued by. That's like a darker horror. Is Stephen King involved with that, or I can't remember. Let me know, Casey, if you're watching still. Susan Riley, Normal People, almost done and loving it.
Okay.
Catherine Healy says The Nest on Acorn. The Nest.
The Nest.
So I'm wondering what you're wondering. Is that based on?
No, can't.
No.
Too soon.
Yeah, no
What's
way.
it based on, Susan?
Yeah, old Disney before Disney Plus. I agree. Like the old Parent Trap. I watched that. That was fun. There's lots of good old movies on there.
Golda Rademacher from Norton. She the other day, I guess she got Disney Plus so that she could watch Hamilton. So then she decided she needed to get her money's worth, and so she posted a line that said something like, "Everybody in there, there's two of everybody," and that's all she wrote. So I wrote back and said, "What?" And she said, "Big Business." So I was like, "Oh, Big Business, such a great movie with Lily Tomlin and Bette Midler." So watched that the other night, and that was super fun, and it holds up. It's super funny. So if you want to just check out of this world and go into something fun, rent Big Business, because it's just so silly, but also very clever, I think.
Virginia and I are big fans of Dead to Me.
I'm on that train. I finished season 2.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
All right.
I was late though. You were the original Dead to Me.
Yeah, you were lady.
fanatics.
I always say, every summer I have like I'm gonna die on this hill. This is the best show, and that's my hill show this summer. It's so good.
Okay, I will say one thing about something else that I watched, which I know everybody out there is going to say, well, I don't know that they're going to say this, but so MAME, not Rosalind Russell. Just hear me out, people. Stick with me for 1 second. 1974, Lucille Ball, Give the Lady a Break. It was amazing. Did either of you watch it? Okay, don't come back to work till you watch it. It's so good. If you're a Lucy fan, like I was 12 years old when that movie came out, and I was just like amazed. I thought it was amazing because I love her. So most people say no, it's the Rosalind Russell, and okay, whatever. But seriously, just watch it. Just watch MAME with Lucille Ball, 1974, and write back to me and tell me. And if you have something not nice to say, don't write to me. Okay. All right, new comments. If anybody says anything bad about MAME, oh, Killing Eve. Yes, Susan Riley's Killing Eve is good. So creepy.
What else do people have to say?
Libraries. Who's open? Who's closed? Who's doing curbside pickup? What should we know? What do you want to tell us? Are you guys still looking at ebooks and audio primarily? Are you guys looking at, physical next? Let us know.
I saw Vicky Nesting called out how much she loves the audio ebook availability now on NetGalley and Edelweiss. So I'm wondering if any of you have dipped into that and what you're thinking, because we think it's pretty cool.
Folks, as long as we're chatting, if you wouldn't mind, if you love the audio e-galley, if you love that whole audiobook idea as a galley, would you please send an email to me and tell me so, because we're collecting responses. So that would be hugely helpful if you sent an email to any one of us, but that would be great. Now, let's see.
I have a book I'm excited about, and we have a little Instagram takeover reminder as well. We want to talk about that.
Do tell.
So, I don't know if anyone's a fan of Barely Functional Adult on Instagram. I know we probably have some fans who follow Michi Ung, who this little comic is just so funny and heartfelt. It's about, becoming an adult and navigating the world of adulthood and sometimes not feeling adequate. And this little comic is, little meaning in relative size. It's a huge deal on Instagram. But on Instagram, this comic came along and everyone loved it so much. And we're so excited to have this book on our list. And Michi's going to be on Instagram all day tomorrow. So follow along, Harper Library, and you can see her writing space and comics and everything. And I read this book and it was so heartfelt and it just hit me right in the feels. I hope you guys get an e-galley because it's just got a really great chapter about like, you know, talking about your feelings and understanding where you come from and your past and present. And I think it's kind of just an emotional hug I needed right now of like everything's gonna be okay and we'll get through it together. It was very sweet. So I hope you guys check this out. The galley's up and follow along. Harper Library tomorrow all day.
Nice. A couple books we have coming out. Again, I'm just throwing out some spring books because, well, actually, this one's in February. The Kindest Lie by Nancy Johnson. I know Ron Block. I don't know if Ron Block is still on.
He is.
Oh, good. Ron Block's rave is on the Edelweiss page of this book, FYI. This is a book, a novel that's set in the time 2008, and Barack Obama is in the office, and set in Chicago. And the woman at the center of this book, her name is Ruth Tuttle. She's an Ivy League educated Black engineer. She's married to this wonderful man. He wants to start a family. She's not so sure because she's never gotten over the fact that she had given birth to a baby and gave the baby up when she was just a teenager at the time. So she goes back to sort of set things right, and therein starts the real meat of the novel. There's a really cool behind the book, in addition to Ron Block's rave. There's a really cool behind the book essay by the author that on Edelweiss that you should read. That's Nancy Johnson. And she is an award-winning television journalist. And so she's got this wonderful piece about why she wrote this book. What was the impetus? So that's a big book for us. That's a big announced print. And you're going to hear a lot about that's 100,000 announced print. And that book's going on sale in February. So that is The Kindest Lie. We talked about that at our World Famous Buzz. What World Famous Buzz, you ask? The one on July 9th, where we spoke for 2.5 hours. We just pretended to be Jimmy Stewart in court.
Some sort of fundraiser buzzathon, kind of like the dance off or last person standing. It's like the last book buzzer standing.
They shoot horses, don't they? That was us. We you know what? We figured, okay, we'll just keep talking and people can go back and watch it later. But we understand people probably were sort of like, are you three ever going to stop talking about books? But we're going to do it again, and we're going to adhere more to time. It's October 8th. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. October 8th, World Famous Buzz. 90 minutes.
It was just we have such great lists that it's hard. It's hard to stop talking about books, which is a good problem to have.
Yeah. Also, it's sort of like, obviously you guys know we're charged with letting you know about our books that are coming out. We're typically used to talking about books that are coming out in the future, but this is a wacky time. And so it's sort of like, well, what should we tell them about books that just came out that, may have everybody put the brakes on, or for book clubs, you want to know about books that are out now. So we sort of mixed it up and talked about a little bit of everything. And I know even for myself, I like to know about the stuff that's coming out. Tell me. So super jazzed about Cynthia Dea Priest-Sweeney. That's a big one. And I don't know, just like fun books that we have coming out. So tell us, Chris, how can they get the link to look at the replay on Crowdcast?
You should ask, Virginia. I posted it in the comments. So everyone watching, you should see it there. Watch our July 9th Buzz here. And there's the Crowdcast link.
Yes.
So
little too much shenanigans for some people, but whatevs. A little bit. No. Cher made an appearance.
Cher she's a pretty regular to our shows. She's a fan.
As is the sound machine. Chris, do you have yours?
Ooh, I don't know where mine is.
I have mine. The tiki hut fell over. Look, I'm gonna eat your tiki hut. Cher in the tiki hut. What could be better than that? Hell, read all that books.
Well, also there's a list of the books we discussed too, because I know you guys are really excited to see kind of all of the ISBNs and all of that listed. So that's in there for you too.
Yes. And
I'll
at the
post
end
it
of
in
our
the comments as
presentation,
well.
people went like this.
That they did.
They did.
That they did.
Raft of Stars. Should we talk about Raft of Stars?
Yes.
Oh, we got
I'll show the cover.
Oh, cool. Good, Lainey. Then you know what? I know I didn't mean to harp on this, but I kind of want to show some of the interior art from Wild City because it's so beautiful. That's a
What
book.
should we want to do first? Yeah, want to do that now?
Sure.
Let's see.
Yeah. So what are you showing, Chris? You're showing
Whatever
Wild
you want
City.
to show.
Show Wild City.
Yeah, Wild City. That's the one.
So Wild City came out in May, and it's as informational as it is entertaining and beautiful. Wouldn't you say?
Completely agree.
You don't need to be a New Yorker to appreciate what has gone into this book, which is really so much work, so much history about New York and the wetlands and what it looked like before we came trouncing through and wrecking it. But also talks about the animals and I don't know, Lainey, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. It's Wild City was such a fun read. I mean, again, it's not just for people who live in New York, although I do feel like I'll have a better appreciation when I'm walking around the city, but also just wild animal stories. Wild animal stories. Like there were actual alligators in the sewer, which that was a cool story about the oysters and how they're great for our environment. So you can read all about that. That was the tiger, right? The back, in the New York City apartment for like months, and wild. Bees, how they're great for our habitat in New York. Let's see.
And the pigeons, and people who rescue pigeons and bring them to the sort of sanctuary on the Upper West Side. And the author says that at least 7 or 8 times a day. New Yorkers get a bad rap for being so, sort of hard-hearted, but here they are coming into this place that, tends to these wounded pigeons, or they're poisoned or whatnot. And people will come in with their little bags of like fluttering birds inside. And there's just all this information about animals then, animals now, and how New York evolved, and how the animals, how the landscape evolved and the landfill, and how they dug up all this dirt to make the subways and what they did with the dirt, and it's really neat. It's a very, very cool thing, and how everything affects the ecosystem. It's really, really interesting, but again, so beautiful too. So really, and he's a very funny guy. So
you have to see his video, his book trailer he made, which we'll link to it. It's just so funny.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, did you know there was a lake monster, or a lake monster in the middle of Manhattan that used to be there? I didn't, so you can learn about that.
Chris, can you go? I love that one. Can you go back to the that's beautiful. I love that. And then the other one with the hawk.
Yeah, the hawk.
There
we go.
Look how beautiful that is. So a lot of these he took pictures of, and then his the illustrator would create these beautiful illustrations, and other things he said not possible to actually capture some of the some of the animals and where what they inhabit. And so we would just describe it to her. So cool. So much work went into this book. So really recommend. Another book that just came out a couple of months ago, and I interviewed Marlo Thomas and Phil Donahue, and that was really cool. That's another book that took a ton of work for these people to do. They traversed the country and they interviewed 40 couples on what makes a marriage last. So every single one of these interviews was face to face. Nothing was called in. They went and they met each and every one of these couples and talked to them about like what keeps your marriage going, and it was really interesting because a lot of these people are, they're all from different walks of life, mostly people that you'll know though, but still, Judge Judy and Jerry Scheinlin, they were married, they got divorced, they got married again. Or they talked to Michael J. Fox and Tracy Pollan, major health issue that that they are dealing with, not just a few years into their marriage. Money issues, infidelity, all different couples had all different things going on. And so what made them stick together? Really, really interesting and very revealing. I thought it was very cool the way they got, I keep saying they didn't get anybody to do anything. These couples sat down with them, and because Marlo Thomas and Phil Donahue shared of themselves, I think one of the things they talked about was like those, the people that they were talking to also felt sort of like, okay, you're sharing with me, and they felt safe and they trusted them, and so it's really good. It's very, they're quite vulnerable in many instances, I think. And then the things that they shared, and then their sort of takeaways. It's really cool. It's a massive book. And their photos, their wedding photos are in there. Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter. Oh, so sweet. Oh my God, it's a really cool book. You really learn a lot about people, writers, celebrities, politicians. Really cool. Now, is anybody watching?
We still have our friends. Yeah, we still have people watching.
We still have friends?
We still have friends.
You got to have
We're not alone.
friends.
We're still watching.
That's good.
Feeling so strong. See, doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Everything turns into share. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Is Donna still there? Did she leave?
Oh, we did have one question, which I thought was good. It was from, bear with me. Susan Riley. Can you recommend something new coming out for a brand new book group? 6 women. She's the youngest. So
for a brand new book club, so something that they can get right now.
yeah.
Where are we? We're in July.
Not too far back, but definitely Kevin Wilson, every day, any day. That's what I say. Number one.
Oh, Kevin Wilson. Yes.
Yeah, and we have some new stuff. I'm going to put a link to our book club website in the comments just so everyone has it.
Yeah, Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson, which I'm sure you guys have all heard us talking about, but we all love, you guys, we actually do love a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
Some books just transcend. Everyone loves them.
I know. So Kevin Wilson's Nothing to See Here is about a woman who is, in one sentence, hired to take care of an old friend's kids. And the kids get upset, they go on fire. Now, listen, there's no way to explain this book and why it is so fabulous, because you think, what a crazy ass premise is that? But it's so good because sometimes kids just go on fire. Sometimes it rains frogs. Sometimes shoot happens. That's what it is. How do you maintain? How do you connect? It's just wonderful. And what makes a family? Oh, it's so good. You'll love it. Love it, love it, love it.
That book is one that I recommend so much to anyone, even, my family, anyone who comes to me and says, I need a book recommendation, I feel confident putting it in anyone's hands that they're going to love it. It's for everybody.
Oh, so good. That's a perfect book club book. What else is a good book club book? Let's see. I want to say it's sort of out now-ish. Recipe for Persuasion.
7 or 8 Deaths of Stella Fortuna is now available in paperback. That'd be a great one. The 7 or 8 Deaths of Stella Fortuna, now in paperback.
That is such a great idea. That's such a great book. You need a steak knife that's sharpened because you just want to chew that puppy up. It's so good. There's so much to talk about. Yeah. Go ahead, one of you guys. Say what it is in 2 sentences. You get 2 sentences.
For that book? Oh, God. It's about a girl named Stella who grows up in Italy in the early 1900s, and she has 7 near-death experiences, and you learn all about them as she becomes an immigrant, and lots of family drama, and we love Juliet Grimes, and that's more than 2 sentences, but
yes. September 1st, we have When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, which I think is an important big book for us, dealing with speaking directly to a lot of the things that are happening in our country now. This is her first kind of psychological thriller. She's, an acclaimed best-selling romance author, but she's just so astute about it takes place in this Brooklyn neighborhood that is rapidly gentrifying, and you follow one young woman with a lot of secrets hidden within her past, and she's kind of part of the neighborhood. She's watching it change. She's angry, rightfully so. They're putting in this new medical center that's going to kind of, finalize that last push to completely change this neighborhood, but there's something sinister not so hidden beneath the surface. It's really tense, but again, I think it has a lot of great book club fodder, just so much to discuss, and just, again, like I said, it's perfect for what we're dealing with right now. So big
Another
book.
one is Motherland by Leah Frankie. That just came out. That's a great book club book about a woman who she's an expat, moves to Mumbai with her husband from the US. So she starts living there, and his mom shows up at their doorstep one day and is like, well, leave my husband, I'm moving in with you. And they don't know what to do. And so her husband goes out of town, and now she's kind of stuck with her mother-in-law, and she doesn't really know her that well, and definitely doesn't understand what's going on. So they try to get to know each other. It reads kind of like a play in some ways, very dialogue between two women who are in very different parts of their life, but also can understand each other. And but also there's some cultural divides of like how you should act and in certain circumstances. And it's really fun. And I'll link to the podcast with Leah, because her and her editor speak, and it's lovely. And this book is really fun to read. It'd be great for book clubs to discuss too.
Also, Exciting Times, Lainey, talk about expats. You love that book.
I love Exciting Times. It's hard to do these quickly. Okay. Exciting Times is written by Nisha Dolan, and she's from Ireland. And so in this book, a woman from Ireland moves to Hong Kong, and she is going to be like a teacher to students who are learning English. So it's really like ritzy school. She's just kind of there to do one job, and she kind of gets whatever they want, she does. And she is, it's a very millennial book about the experience of losing yourself and trying to find yourself. And she meets this man who's a banker from London, and they start a relationship, but he doesn't really care much for her, actually. Like, well, he does, but they don't really have that great of a relationship. And then he goes away on business, and she meets this woman who is from Hong Kong, and they start a relationship, and she decides that she really has a lot of feelings for her, but she can't untie herself from this man that she likes as well. And so she has to figure out what she wants, but she's kind of keeping secrets from both of them. And I don't know, it's really funny and witty and wry. She puts a lot of stuff where you're like, I was thinking that I would never say it, but that's hilarious. And so really fun read.
That continues to get a ton of love. I was just writing to somebody about this, so I just pulled up my email. So Vogue says this debut novel about an Irish expat millennial teaching English and finding romance in Hong Kong is half Sally Rooney love triangle, half glitzy, crazy, rich Asians, high living, and guaranteed to please. So it's a recommended book from New York Times Book Review, Vogue, Time, Marie Claire, Elle, O, Esquire, Harper's Bazaar, Bustle, Pop Sugar, Refinery 29, Lit Hub, and They Beautiful. Honestly, almost like when that thing first came out, emails were coming in all the time from the publicist, like more love, more love, more love.
Yeah, and she's like in Ireland, it's just blown up. She was on the cover of magazines. Like everyone across the world has loved that book, and it just keeps growing, like you said.
Can you guys show the jacket? Do you have it like easily?
I do. Well, first of all, I will show Motherland, because
yeah, that's beautiful.
Beautiful cover. And then exciting. Ooh.
I've been bruised and battered. Yeah.
And here's Exciting Times. Anisha Dolan. I love that cover too. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know what else. What else can we tell you guys for book clubs? I don't know. Exiles is the Christina Baker Klein. It's coming out in hardcover. It's coming out in August. So, Eva, that is a, it's not in paperback, it's in hardcover, but it's a very, very chewy book, historical novel. Christina Baker Klein. What more must I say? But it's about these three women, two English convicts and an orphaned Aboriginal girl. It's in 19th century Australia. So it tells you their backstories and how they end up on these repurposed slave ships, and they're taking them over to Australia, Tasmania, and it's their lives and what happens on these ships. It's rough stuff, but it's so good. I mean, you feel it all. I love that book. That's a really wonderful book. That's The Exiles. So that's going to do real well. I think. I mean, she's wonderful.
Another good book club is coming out, Lost and Found Bookshop by Susan Wiggs. We had her on the door to door, and she did an Instagram takeover, which was really fun. And that's a great book club book, I think. Lots of, for book lovers, it's all about books and a bookstore that someone owns. So,
but it's also about like elder care, and so it's good. I mean, and she sort of talks about her in that interview we did, which was a wonderful interview. We had some terrible audio problems with it, but it's too bad. She talked about her own issues and what her own experience with elder care, because there's that element is in the book as well. But it's so good, and the lines are so beautiful. And then, who doesn't want to own a bookstore? I do. I just don't want to, do any of the money stuff. But it's beautiful and very layered and great characters and a real solid, just a real solid story there. It's getting rave reviews. That's a good one, lady. You guys
get a little romance in there too. Which is
hey-oh. What's a book without a little romance? What they put up with. What else? Oh my God, we've actually gone like an hour almost, you guys.
No.
Hi from Buffalo, Maryland. And yes, Lillian, Exile sounds fantastic, and I hope you read it, and I hope you love it as much as I do, because you're just gonna feel everything they feel. Ron Block, Stella. Yes, I know Ron Block is a big fan.
Oh, Virginia, somebody said, Lillian said that your interview with Kevin Wilson is what compelled her to read the book. That's very nice. I'll put the link.
Thank you. Yes. And Susan Riley says, Virginia, you and I disagreed about Stella Fortuna. We had, Susan Riley and I wrote back and forth about one of the characters and how we both felt very differently about him. But it's okay. We still love each other. Oh, dear God. All right. So, sorry. So we have Meg Cabot coming up. Sophie Hannah, spread the word, you guys. We need help. We need to spread the word. We want to make sure that everybody who loves a mystery and who loves Sophie Hannah, or who might love Sophie Hannah if they haven't read her, will come and hear her, because she's going to be calling in from England. So we're going to change the time a bit. She's going to be calling in next Thursday, possibly at 4 o'clock. We'll let you know. Why am I talking like that? I don't know. And what else do we have? We have our world famous Buzz part on October 8th, and more to come. That means we don't have anything scheduled yet.
We have tons of backlist of podcasts, so you can go dive deep. We had Plain Bad Heroines, Emily Danforth, her editor, and she were on, and it was amazing.
Okay. Book? All right, you get 5 sentences to describe Plain Bad Heroines.
Oh,
wait, let me get my sound machine out. Every sentence you say, I'm going to go ding. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
Gothic sapphic romp in told through several decades about past and future girls in a boarding school. About a movie that is made about a book that changes a life at girls at a boarding school. Very dark and fun, and you are looking over your shoulder and creepy. And Emily has footnotes about amazing, funny things that are part of the story and illustrations. And lastly, that it is, oh, I had the last one. Hold on. Oh, it's about a real woman and an actual Mary McLean. And it's not about, but it's smallly based on her. And then she grows from it. And you'll have to see her behind the book on Edelweiss.
Yay. Good job.
All right. Well, that's it for me.
That was very good, Lainey. That is not an easy book to describe. And I'd probably like celebrate my 80th birthday. So trying to describe that book. Chris, do you want to show your show and tell?
See if people can see it. So,
Or you turn your palm tree back on.
yeah, I was bragging for everyone watching. I was bragging about picking up the old skateboard again. So here's my board. It's being absorbed. It says 0. I don't do with that what you will. But yeah, I took it out for a ride first time in decades, literally decades, yesterday. So I'm feeling pretty proud. Feeling pretty proud. So that's my show and tell.
It's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Lainey, do you have anything you want to do show and tell?
I don't have anything. I have my ALA thing that covers my camera on my computer, which is cool. And it cleans your computer.
It does? I want one.
Well,
all I have is this paintbrush.
You look like a true artist with that, and I don't know. You just look like an artist. You are an artist, V.
Thank you, Christopher.
Oh, artist of words.
An artist of words. Well, we've managed to do this. We've just talked about books, and we didn't talk about any grub. Anybody have any good snacks they want to tell us about? Who's on still? No
Tune
one.
in next episode for snack talk.
Next episode, snack talk. Let's call it that.
It actually would be fun to like tell people what they could make from home. I know people are making bread, and that'd be fun. Cookbook.
Yeah, we could do that, or order Chinese.
Well, they don't have to know if we made it or not.
That's true. Well, listen, you guys, this was lovely. It's 4:00, and thank you so much for joining us today as we just gabbed about books, and I don't know, what else do we gab about? TV and movies, and I don't know. And we're happy to hear from you all. So I don't know, just keep us posted on how things are going. If you do love the audiobook e-galley, or whatever we're calling it, please send me an email and let me know. So, okay, I'd love to hear what you have to say and even possibly use your rave, if I may. So I don't know, any other things we need to say? Hi, thanks for the buzz. A new comment here. I'm almost afraid to look. Thanks for a really fun hour. You're welcome, Ron Block. And yes, Janet, you're right. Well done, Lainey. Yes, that was tall order. Did great. And the Exiles, Vicky Nesting loves the Exiles. It's really good. So let us know what we can send you. Let us know what you need. Don't be shy. All right. And I guess that's it, right, you guys?
I think so. It's a good hour.
It was. It was nice, right? Just hanging out. Hanging out with our buds, our library buds. Love it. All right. Well, I guess, should I send this out with something fun? Oh, no, that's a burp. Sorry. That's how we feel because we have to say goodbye to you all. Mwah. See you next Tuesday when we're going to have Meg Cabot, right? Tuesday. Oh my God, it's going to be so big.
Yeah.
Yay. Come see us.
Right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.